Hello, today we're going to talk about the basics of how to game on a Mac computer. There are a few basic things you should know when it comes to gaming on a Mac computer. You should have a Mac that was released from 2012 and above, as these support the graphics API Metal, which actually improves performance when you play games. You should have a suitable Mac when it comes to gaming. For instance, the iMac series are great when it comes to gaming. Even better, 5K iMacs are great. 4K iMacs are also pretty good. And then another great Mac for gaming is the 15-inch MacBook Pro. The MacBook Pro and the iMac have dedicated graphics, which is really good when it comes to gaming. The worst Macs for gaming, because they have integrated graphics, are standard MacBooks, MacBook Airs. 13-inch MacBook Pros are not great. The older Mac Minis, the new Mac Mini is actually fairly decent. Aim for 15-inch MacBook Pros and an iMac, 4K or 5K. Alright, so we're now on my Mac and I want to show you the best places where you can find Mac games. So the most obvious is the Mac App Store, which is usually found in your dock, or you can find it by going to the search icon and typing in App Store. So if you're in the Mac App Store, you can go to the Play page. The way it organizes itself is a little bit different, but it usually does it in some categories like games we love. Here we have Life is Strange, Before the Storm, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Old Man's Journey. Those are some new ones. But then we do have some classics like Medieval 2, Total War. And then usually we have some other panels with games. You can also go into categories, go to games, and you can see the best top paid ones that people think, and free. I don't know why everyone keeps saying this game's amazing, because it's not that good. There's The Sims 2, which is an amazing game. And yeah, and then it shows you some really popular ones right now, like Alto's Adventure, Civ 6, The Witness. The best place is obviously Steam. Now, Steam does not come on your Mac. It is something that you have to download from the internet. Now, Steam is, without a doubt, the best place to find Mac games. It has heaps of them. In fact, it has about 7,000 Mac games on this platform. So in order to find them, the first and most simplest way to go is to go up to the Games tab, go into macOS 10, and it will show you heaps of them here. So at the top we have, it's highlighting some of the popular ones right now, and those ones aren't really that good, but if we go down to here and we go to top selling, you can see the best ones that people have been playing, like Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, Ark Survival Evolved, Football Manager 2019, Rocket League, Sid 5. Some other really good ones are Rise of the Tomb Raider, Hitman, Arma 3, Borderlands the pre-sequel, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. To find your games library, you just go up here and you can find all your games here, and I have a heap of them. Battle.net is one of the next most popular platforms to find games. You can play ones like World of Warcraft, Diablo 3, StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, and StarCraft. Overwatch is not supported on Mac, so you can't play that one. And then we also have Epic Games. Epic Games offer obviously Fortnite and Unreal Tournament and Shadow Complex. It only has 3 games, but that is where you can find Fortnite, which everyone damn well loves. And then we've got a few others like Origin. Origin offers The Sims 4 and 3. You can find The Sims 2 on the Mac App Store. It isn't on Origin. But yeah, Origin is the best place to find The Sims. Alright, so the last platform that I'm showing is GOG, which is the best platform to find classic games that are still supported on modern Macs. So type GOG on Google, go to the website, and from here, you don't really have to download the actual GOG platform or client. You can just search for a game you want. So go to the store, go to Browse All Games at the bottom, and go to All Games for Mac. You can find some new games, but also some older ones like The Witcher 2. You can also find stuff like Syndicate Plus from the early 90s, the original Shadow Warrior, Crusader games, some more modern ones like Layers of Fear. All right, so I actually want to show you in game how to somewhat play a game. I can't give it an example of every Mac model, but here we go. So this is Rise of the Tomb Raider, a new game for Mac OS. And for instance, what I mean by how to play, I mean what settings you should be running your game at. So for most games, you can change the display resolution. Now for older Macs or Mac Minis, MacBook Airs, or 13-inch MacBook Pros, you should be playing at a resolution of 1280 by 800 or 1280 by 720. If your Mac doesn't support those resolutions, try going for 1600 by 900 or 1400 by 900 or 1344 by 756. If you have a more high-end Mac like the iMac series or a 15-inch MacBook Pro, you can go for a resolution of 1920 by 1080. And sometimes you can even go up to 2048 by 1152, but that depends on how good your Mac is. But 1920 by 1080 is usually the best one. Basically, the lower the resolution you go, the more FPS you'll get. But the lower you go, the worse the game will look. That rhymed. For advanced settings, for instance, VSync. VSync basically locks your frame rate at 60, or basically the refresh rate of your Mac, which for pretty much all Macs is 60 Hertz, unless you have an external monitor. On older Macs, you should have VSync off. This is because VSync will strain the computer and it might actually struggle to get even close to 60 FPS at all. So having it off, it may have a better chance of reaching a more suitable frame rate. For newer Macs, I like to keep it on, unless you want to get above 60 frames. And for other advanced settings like shadows, textures, it's best for low-end Macs to go for a preset of low. If you have a more high-end Mac, you could try medium or high. Basically, what you want to do is try and aim for a frame rate of 60 FPS or just something smooth. You may have noticed that there aren't many games on macOS. So to avoid this, you can easily install Windows 10 via Boot Camp Assistant, which comes on every Mac. Windows 10 is free, by the way. All you need is a 2012 and above Mac. To find Boot Camp Assistant, just go up to the search icon, type Boot Camp Assistant, and go into that and follow through the steps. Now, I suggest having at least 150 gigabytes of storage for the Windows partition so you can install a few games. If you can go above that, great. If you can't, that sucks. I have a full guide of how you can install Windows on your Mac in the description. I made it last year. It still applies to today. So check it out if you want to install Windows on your machine. But Windows will give you access to a heap of more Windows-based games and will also give you somewhat better performance. You can also try using GeForce Now, a cloud streaming service to basically stream games to your Mac. There are a few other streaming services like Vortex, Liquid Sky, Parsec, but GeForce Now is the best. So you can install GeForce Now by simply searching on the interwebs, GeForce Now. However, you will have to sign up, request beta access, and it will take a very long time. I have it here. You can simply search for GeForce Now. It will launch. And as you can see, we have heaps of games that we can stream in the cloud, like Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, PUBG, League of Legends, Warframe, lots of games that aren't supported on the Mac platform. Now, I've tested GeForce here a few times and it works wonderfully. So if you have access to it, definitely give it a go because it really is just amazing. But yeah, you need a great internet connection. All right, and lastly, if you are using an Apple Magic Mouse to play games, ditch it, get rid of it, and invest in some sort of gaming mouse. Now, most are compatible with Mac. This is the Razer Mamba wireless gaming mouse, and it has 2 buttons instead of 1. So it is so much better when it comes to gaming. But yeah, ditch the Magic Mouse. It's great for other things, but not for gaming at all. Get a 2-button mouse, you will have your life changed. You don't really need to change the Apple keyboard. If you can deal with it, it's fine. I think it's perfectly fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. You can also use a wealth of controllers on Mac. I love using PlayStation controllers. PlayStation 4 is good, PlayStation 3 is good, and you can also use a few others like Xbox, HorrorPad Ultimate Controller. If you have any questions about what you've seen here today or what you can do in your Mac, don't hesitate to ask me any questions in the comments below. Or if you want, you can join our Apple Discord gaming server with over 3,000 members. It's a great place to ask other people questions or myself and learn about Mac gaming. Thank you for watching. If you learned something, definitely leave a like. And if you want to see more content about Mac gaming, then you should subscribe, because that's pretty much what this channel is about. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.